process. If it goes beyond 3 meetings, I won't be here anymore, because we're wasting our time. We have to deal with the task at hand, and how we're going to do that, how we're going to amend these documents in order to make both bodies eligible. How we go about achieving that, I don't know, I hate to sit down and go through item by item by item. That could take a prolonged period of time. I think this is a good starting point. If people took the time to digest those and pick those apart, perhaps we could work off of these and modify these and come up with something that both parties are comfortable with.
May I throw out a question, because I don't know the answer? There seems to be a move, and there has been on the ballot, this idea of just incorporating the city. What happens if that goes through? What happens to the railroad?
Nobody's ever thought that far ahead.
Not going to happen.
Nobody has ever thought, that I have ever, in the 40 years I've lived here, and it's come up ever, and nobody's ever figured what the residents of the city and the county would lose if we didn't have a city. I mean, grants.
There are a lot of problems that would have to be addressed.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
But what was really brought up, what Commissioner Howe said, he didn't say combine city and county. He said combine some of the services. The headline in the paper was incorrect from what he said.
Okay.
It was combine some of the services that the city and county have together.
I just heard that he had brought something up, but I didn't know what the detail of it was. But was it not on the ballot here 2-3 years ago?
It was more of a referendum. It wasn't. It was just a
Advisory.
It was advisory.
Advisory. Thank you. Okay. I'm just curious.
Well,
That was for services.
This is an elephant in the closet. At the last legislative session, if it weren't for a couple of the small communities in Clark County, they would pass something, and for any city in the county of less than 40,000 people, it would be gone. Okay, that's how close it is. Taxation, I'm sure with North Las Vegas, through their problems, has no appetite for dealing with entities that have problems. So, if that's the case we have here, which maybe we do, maybe we don't, I don't think we're much of a leap away from being forced. It's still going to be a vote of the people. Taxation is going to make this decision. They're going to say, this is how it is. County, here it is. Take over. And then all of the problems that we're talking about, they're going to have to be ironed out. And the county is going to just basically supersede the city, and probably that's how I would interpret it, in all of their dealings and all of their responsibilities, including interaction with the railroad and so forth. And I agree, Marty, it would be a mess.
Yeah.
It's going to be a major mess if it happens.
Well, there would be certainly there's nothing that we could draft today that would be able to withstand that kind of change.
No, this is a sidebar.
Yeah.
I think we have to deal with the situation the way it is. We can't. There's conjecture does us no good. If that happens, it happens. We're not going to have any control over it.
I guess maybe that's what I was leading up to. You're right. You know, is there something that we need to perhaps think about or slightly address? But I agree. You're right. There's no doubt about it.
Well, we certainly need to fix any ambiguities. We need to take out any verbiage that's confusing or that violates the unrest. And I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, but as far as the basic structure, I think it has worked well in the past. It's unfortunate that we've gotten to this situation, but at the same time, I think we're on the right road. We're going to get some of these things that the auditors identified fixed. I think we've really, the fact that we're sitting here means that we have moved a long ways toward this communication that we have not had for a long time. I mean, have a representative at every one of your council, or every one of your management board meetings, and follows what happens, and that you and the management board report regularly to the council. I use the term council and trustees interchangeably.
Yeah, for me, that's, yeah.
So,
Well, for me, that's the real problem here, is that we're addressing two different groups of people for lack of any other reason, is because they wrote it down in 1984. And I don't understand, I mentally have no idea why there is a board of trustees that's exactly the same as the city council, and why we have that piece in the middle. I don't see where it protects the city. I don't see where it protects the railroad.
the only thing I can gather is that it goes to the formation of 501c3 as far as the board of trustees. It's a title only.
It's been said about Kenneth, they not like the mayor of the city. That's why they excluded the mayor
Right.
off of the
That's what I heard.
Off the board of trustees.
trustees. One of the different groups.
Good point, Peter.
But we're new now.
I have two suggestions. First of all, I think we need one or two representatives from the city and one or two representatives from the railroad to attend each other's meetings. First of all, that's going to help everybody gel together. That's going to improve communication. And secondly, I believe that we need to bring the bylaws into this, and we'll go through these bylaws one at a time. And with your information there, Roger, I think we can kind of gel this whole thing together to where both sides can come to an agreement and feel comfortable, and hopefully the citizens will feel the same way. And I'd like to make the suggestion that we do that. Both the city and Railroad Foundation appoint two people to attend the meetings. At least we could have at least one out of the two attend. And that'll give us a start. So I'd like to see.
Given that, I agree completely. I'd like to withdraw my motion and figure out how to word a motion that said what you just said.
Okay.
Well, I think that it's pretty simple.
Well, it's actually two motions, for mistake. You know, the one motion would be a recommendation to this city, or to Mayor Van Camp, that she would appoint, to the chairman of the board of trustees, to appoint one or two members to attend management board meetings. Actually, three motions, and then
And
the
something
next
on the
one
other
is,
side.
yeah, and something on the other side, and then the third one would be to put this on the next agenda to go through the bylaws.
Can I ask you a question, Jennifer, just a point of parliamentarian? Can the mayor make a recommendation that's simply to one or two individuals from the management board and one or two city councilmen attend the meetings? Can we do that way, or?
Well, she could, but Chairman Durbridge is the chairman of the board of trustees, and Chairman Gianoli is the chairman of the management board, so really the recommendation should go to them.
Each of them,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I think it's easy. I think that's a great idea. And I think your idea on the bylaws would have John said, Roger said, and the president said, sent to everybody so they could have a couple of weeks to look at them and come back to the next meeting ready to do something and not just look at them here and there.
Well, the ones,
I would have meant to say the bylaws and the articles. I think they both need to be scrutinized.
yeah, I
Well,
would-
one follows the other, so.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like this, so they're intertwined, so we have no there's no way to touch one without touching both.
But I know these have been handed out before, but maybe now we can put the emphasis on to really get down and address it, because these were revised by the attorneys to comport with the. In other words, I guess I'm saying we don't need to go through the old ones point by point as much as just the amended ones. Go through the amended ones and see if we have any disagreements on those.
And it may be helpful for the city attorney to attend in that, in that vein, because yes.
Right, he would be here, but he was on the Supreme Court today. But I disagree, right? I think it'd be nice, it'd be helpful to look at the whole one and see what the intent was, and then to see what was changed, not to just.
So look at both sets.
Yeah. Or did you have a set too?
Yeah, I've had it.
Or was it the same set?
It's been handed out before.
Well, Jennifer, we just have to send. I probably have it somewhere, but I think they'd have to come out anyway.
Yeah.
As part of the meeting.
Right.
These are the documents that I presume that were handed out at the joint city council management board meeting.
Correct.
Right.
When you folks approved at that meeting. Yeah.
So what I would suggest is that all the documentation, be laid on the table in order to perform that work. So we have a reference from the past to the present.
I make that motion, or second term motion.
So that would be one motion.
Vote on that one first.
Jennifer, do you have any of that? I forget what I said sometimes.
So we moved that all the documentation for the articles of incorporation and the bylaws be considered in order to make any revisions.
Correct, so new and old, yeah. So I'll make that motion.
Okay, do we need just one motion for everything that went on here?
No, we didn't have
You
one.
have to have three.
Three motions?
I second that one. Vote.
Okay, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I make a motion that we have the railroad, president of the railroad management board appoint one or two people to come to the appropriate city council meetings.
I second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I move that the city council, the chairman of the board of directors, board of trustees, direct two people from the board of trustees to attend railroad management board meetings.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Do we need one on the bylaws?
No, we got that.
Got
That was
that.
first.
Okay. Any further discussion on item 2 on old business? Do I hear a motion to end item number 2 on old business? Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second. What exactly are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
No more discussion on that.
Just moving on with the old business items.
Yeah, I think one has taken care of the other, so. I guess we're at, so I guess, yeah.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 2 approved. Moving on to number 3 on old business. discussion for possible action, review of the formation of the Great Basin and Northern Railroad Incorporated and its operating agreements with the City of Ely and the White Pine Historical Railroad Foundation.
The reason I asked that this be put on is because I wanted to find out exactly what that relationship is. We have been given a copy of a trackage rights agreement that was apparently approved by the city council, and to date, I don't know if has anyone found a signed copy of that document? No? Where was the copy that we got? Who found that? Because I don't think we found that in the city council records. Or did we, Jennifer?
That was in the management, that was the foundation's records. And then I also have the minutes from the city council meeting.
Okay. And have you all reviewed that trackage rights agreement? Okay, well, to me, this is a good example why things need to be done exactly right. As I look at the agreement, unsigned though it be, I don't see anything in that for the city. And the Board of Trustees certainly need to look after the financial affairs of the city. Now, it can be argued that nothing has happened. There obviously have been some sales of tax credits and so forth in this vehicle. The creation of this I'll call it a paper railroad, may have been a very good thing for the foundation, and as such, the city. We all benefit from the operation of the foundation. But this is an example of where we need to find out what has gone before and get things mopped up, because there has to be an agreement. In fact, I believe the IRS has some strong words about those types of agreements. The Great Basin Northern needs to have a trackage rights agreement to sell tax credits. And if we can't find a signed copy, does it exist? Anyway, I had hoped that by now that we would have that information. I've been informed by Jennifer Lee that a letter has gone out to Gary Fairman, who is the registered agent for the Great Basin Northern. Maybe he has a copy of that signed package agreement. I'd like to just, I don't know that this needs to stay on the agenda for this committee. I guarantee you I'll stay on it at the city council level to find out what agreements we do have in place. There was reference made to another railroad, Pacific and Western, who had on its board of directors an ex-member of the management board of the foundation. And I'll see if I can find out what's going on with that, because that was tabled, trackage rights for that railroad. So to me, these are just examples of things that need to be mopped up. I'll move to quash this item for this meeting.
Second?
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded that we drop item number 3. Any questions?
I agree, Marty, this is a real important subject that you should be delving into with this board, whether this is an enterprise board scenario or whatever. It's not appropriate here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under new business, we have item number 1 and we have item number 2. And after reading both of the items, I believe that they were more or less the same. So I would like to hear a motion that we delete item number 1.
I move.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to delete item number 1. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 1 under new business has been deleted. Item number 2 under new business. Discussion for possible action. Consideration of how the railroad can be improved.
I specifically wanted this on this agenda because I'll have to admit, Mr. Gianoli, I was rather offended at your suggestion that the appearance of a question like that cast some kind of a cloud on the reputation of the foundation. I don't think there's an organization in the world that can't be improved. And I'm going to be rather brutal here, so hang on, because I just threw together a quick list. What I'm passing out here are just some pictures that I took this morning. A little sandwich board denoting train rides at the corner of Bolton and 11. Our billboard, it's mostly gone. And our boxcar at the Public Museum. Pass one of those out to the public if you want to. If that's okay, then we're really screwed up. But in no particular order, I have a list of things that we need to do to improve our railroad. We need to pay our bills on time. All our bills. Local, out of town, if you can't afford it, don't buy it. We need to fix that billboard. I don't remember, it's been 2 or 3 years looking like that. We have people that have offered to fix it and are waiting for graphics to tell me from our executive director. That is a failing of the management board. It's been on your agenda for years. For years. You come in on Highway 50 from the west, it does look like a ghost road. It's shameful. And I'm going to hold everybody on that management board responsible for that.
Marty,
Yes.
there used to be 5 of those billboards.
Yeah,
There was
I'm
one
just-
at Alamo, there's Delta, there used to be one at Motel 6, and the one out at Club 50.
All I know is that the one out there by Lane City is a disgrace.
It is, the one in Delta, the paint's all peeled off. It's still
And it's- and
whole,
it's-
but the others are gone.
And it's been on the agenda of the management board for years. I don't need to comment anymore about if the boxcar at the museum painted. It's beginning to rot. It's beginning to rot. I don't need anybody to tell me how it can't be painted because it's too porous. I'm quoting someone now. It's too porous. And the paint will get on the artifacts that may be inside. Paint everything. That's what volunteers are good at. Give them a paint bucket and a brush. There are all kinds of things that need paint on our road. Quit stirring up hate and discontent. The things that were passed out in town, put in the paper about the city council, in the early part of this year, passed out to employees. The management board is responsible for that. Quit paying employees to get political. Mr. Sears stopped the meeting when Mark admitted that the management board or the foundation is paying employees to come to council meetings. I think that can lose you your 501c3 status.
I'm sorry. That's exactly what we're talking
That's just what we're talking about.
Yes. I'm terribly sorry. I apologize profusely.
Okay. The next thing on my list was quit getting political. It's outside the scope of running a museum. To go get funding, that's one thing. But to criticize a council that's just trying to keep square with the accountants is wrong. These are things that need to be fixed. Sale of tax credits is certainly not transparent. I guess I'll just say transparency of the finances of the railroad is important. You need that to maintain trust. And there's been less than transparency in that regard. Mr. Burbidge has asked several times to get financial reports at the city council meetings, and we don't get it. I'm hoping that NARC will get the McGill Depot open. I've been hearing that for years. I've gotten so I don't believe it anymore. There are agreements with the White Pine Public Museum. I've seen some of those agreements. We should be taking a more active approach in keeping some of the railroad equipment displayed here. Okay. Whatever we need to do to restore credibility. And the last thing on my list I think is the most important. We need to welcome volunteers. That doesn't mean kick them in the ass when they figure out that things are not right or when they say something that goes against the order of the day. I don't think you will survive without volunteers. Okay. They bring in not only their efforts, they bring in their money, they bring in their friends. And what we've done over the last few years is discourage many of our best volunteers. And that is a partial list of things, but I think a very important list of things that needs to be addressed. And at least it's on the record, and if you choose to ignore it, it can only hurt us.
Any more discussion?
If you'll circulate that list, Marty, we'll address those issues.
I'll type it up so it's a little neater and I'll get it to all of
Thank you.
you. I appreciate your consideration.
Just going to ask that.
I believe it'll probably
get
be,
a copy of that list?
it'll come out in the minutes. I'm sure Jennifer Lee will have those points.
I'm sure.
Very well documented.
Maybe before that time,
I'll summarize it.
before the next meeting. If we could get it mailed out, email out, would be fine.
Well, Member Patrice had her list.
Yes, she did. I'm sorry.
What?
Well, you need to discuss what you brought.
Well, my questions I had comments on, and you kind of hit on just about everything I was going to
We didn't work together on this either,
No, we
did we?
didn't. But my comments were we must have transparency of accounting practices of the railroad. If a bill is paid, either a check number or a copy of a money order should be attached to the bill for tracking purposes. The present Historic Railroad Management Board should only function for the White Pine Historical Railroad Foundation, and its members and employees should not be intertwined with any for-profit corporation regarding the railroad. Also, grant applications using the White Pine Historical Railroad in the city of Ely are inappropriate for the furthering of a for-profit corporation like Great Basin or whatever. I think that there should be two separate management entities and not anybody on the same ones. And Joan Bassett working as a bookkeeper for Mark Bassett and Van Northern is nepotism. Totally unbiased individual needs to be hired for this job. I think that would improve the image and the trust.
Thank you, Claudine, for your input. Any further discussion for new business item number 2? We do not accept comments for discussion items. We have public comment coming up shortly. Okay.